Okay, I believe we're live. Welcome to today's training. As usual, if you can let me know that you can see my screen and you can hear me, the chat section is activated. So if you can just type a little message in there to let me know that you can see my screen and hear me, and we can proceed with today's training. I would like to get started, so if you can just let me know you can see and hear me. And then we can get started. Okay, thanks Trish. Trish says loud and clear. So it looks like we have liftoff. Today I want to talk about a few things. I know we've got a slide up there that says unlimited traffic, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well, because if you can get unlimited traffic, proper traffic I'm talking about, I'm not talking about this robot stuff that's worth nothing, because there's a lot of that about in today's market, and it's usually supposedly very cheap. It's inexpensive to buy, but it's absolutely worthless. So it's not really cheap. It's very expensive because you're not going to get anything from it. You'll get millions of clicks or visitors to your website, none of which are genuine. They won't. You'll never get a sale off any of it. So you need to make sure that the traffic that you are getting and generating is good traffic. Targeted traffic, and if you get unlimited targeted traffic, then let's just change that perhaps right now, because that is the difference. That is the big difference. And if I can get back to where I was. Okay, unlimited targeted traffic. So if you can get that, then you are well on your way to making a large income. Now, I wanted to start today because I get a lot of people asking me to help them make money online. And I always send them a little note, if you like. It's most of them come from Facebook, and most of them are Facebook messages that I get, and they say, I want to make money online, and I send them a note, really a reply message saying, understand that there isn't any system or mentor that can make you rich. It's got to be you that does it. But I also tell them that if they follow what I teach and they don't err and they stay focused, then they'll be successful. And I also tell them that it's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be rich. Everybody would be making a fortune online, and clearly that's not the case, because 97% of people that are marketing online never make a profit. Some of them are making money, but they're spending more than they're actually getting in, and all it is an expensive hobby. So I cover that point. So I tell them it's not going to be easy. I also express that they're never going to be asked to do anything that they're not capable of doing. It's not that hard. It's pretty simple. They just have to have their mind and their focus in the right directions. And then I say that the main ingredients are going to be a willingness to learn and to follow instructions to the letter, even when they don't fully understand why they're doing things. And I go on to say that they need to really consider what they're going to put into their business in terms of cash and time. And I asked them how much they want to make in the first 90 days, how much they want to make in residual income after 90 days, how much they have to get started, and how much a month they're going to budget to put into their business. And unless I get reasonable answers to those questions, I won't even tell them where they can go and sign up for any of my programs. And because a lot of people either won't answer, or they'll say, oh, I want to make 10,000 in the first 90 days and I want to make 5,000 a month after that, and I'll commit to as much time as it takes, which isn't a valid answer. I want to know how much time they are committing to. And then they say, I haven't got anything to get started. Okay, so what they're asking for is something that may be possible. I believe that nothing is impossible, but it's not something that I can teach them to do, because it's not something that I've done. I can teach them to make $50,000 a month. I can even teach them to make more than that, because I know people that have made more than that are teaching me. So I can pass on information from there. But I don't know anybody that started with zero cash that's made 10,000 in the first 90 days and a residual income of 5,000 a month every month after that. As I say, it is not impossible, and I'm sure somebody will do it one day, but it's not something that most people are going to achieve. It's a little bit like trying to run the 4-minute mile before it's ever done. I mean, that was done back in I think it was 1952 or 1953, when a guy called Roger Bannister was the first person to actually run a mile in under 4 minutes. And before that, all these people had been saying that running a mile in under 4 minutes was impossible for the human physique. All these experts, scientists and analysts and whatever you want to call them, okay, it would never be achieved. Well, Roger Bannister was a doctor, and he believed that it could be achieved and it would be achieved, and he was the first person to do it. And once he had done it, lo and behold, lots and lots of people went on to also do it within a short space of time. And today, I think the number of people that have run sub 4-minute miles is certainly, if it's not in the thousands, it's very close to being in the thousands. I have seen the figures and I can't remember what they are. So once something has been achieved and proved, then other people can follow along. But I haven't made that sort of money starting with zero. I've spent thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars on my online marketing and my campaigns and my education, and because of the money I've spent, I make an excellent income with my online businesses. But they are important questions. How much do you want to make in your first 90 days? How much do you want to make in residual income after 90 days? How much time will you commit to your business? And that's got to be a figure that you put in, you decide that you are going to apply. It's like going to a job interview, and the guy behind the desk says, oh yeah, you seem like a pretty good person. How many hours are you going to put in? We're looking for 8 hours a day. And you say, I don't know, as long as it takes. If I can get it all done in an hour, I'm going home. Uh, and and if I can't get it all done in the 8 hours, well, tough. I'm not going to do it. It's all sort of, though that person has got to say, yeah, I'm prepared to come to work for 8 hours a day and do what I'm told for 8 hours a day. Now, I'm not saying somebody starting an online business has to commit to 8 hours a day, but the more hours they do commit to, the more successful they are likely to be. And they have to set that time aside as though they were going to a job where they were going to get paid at the end of the week for being there and doing what they're told. So if they commit to, whether it's just as little as 2 hours a day, they've got to say, okay, that is got to be built into my daily life, and it will be done between these hours. And they've got to commit to that and be prepared to do that. And if it's 8 hours a day, they've got to put those hours aside. And if it's 4 hours a day, they've got to put 4. Whatever they commit to, they have to say, right, that is what I'm going to be doing in these hours between 8 o'clock in the morning and 4 o'clock in the afternoon, or if they're committing to 8 hours, or whatever it may be. They've got to allocate the time. And then how much money do you have to get started? Starting any business realistically takes a capital investment. So if you're hoping to start a business with no money down, is that possible? Yes, and in fact, next week I'm going to show you how you can do it. But I feel that it's going to be extremely unlikely that you're going to make an awful lot of money in your first 90 days. And as you start making money, then you're going to have to start not drawing it out. It's not going to be there. You're going to have to start putting it into your business to build that. And as I say, I'm going to go through this next week because I get so many people that say, I've got no money to start, just tell me what to do. Okay. So I'm going to show ways that it can be done starting with absolute zero next week. And that is going to be the focus of what I'm talking about next week. But if you're expecting to retire to that laptop lifestyle that's talked about, with your feet up on the beach, sipping a Cuba Libre and spending 10 minutes just checking how much money has come in overnight, then you're in for a rude awakening. It's not going to happen. It's going to be a slow, laborious process, because the more you have to invest in time and cash, the easier it is going to be to get up and running and make some decent money. And if you can allocate, say, $5,000 to get started, and then be prepared to put in a few $100s a month, regardless of results. We're not talking about, oh, well, if I make 1,000, I'll put back in 200 or something like that. We're talking about what is your commitment to yourself and your business now. And then if you're making money, you can also take some of that and add it to your commitment, so that you are actually investing more money in what you're doing. And that is what the successful people online do. They say, okay, I'm starting a business, I'm going to put in X amount, whether it's $5, $50, $500, $5,000 or $50,000, it doesn't matter. It's a definite amount that they say, right, I'm going to put this in to get started. And they say, I'm going to put in this amount every month. And once again, whether that's 5 to 50,000, 100,000, it's a commitment that they are going to spend on their business. And once they have that, they have a foundation on which to build their business. But if they're talking about naught with naught, it's going to be a very, very, very hard process, and most people won't make it. So I wanted to cover that, but I am going to show next week how people can get started with zero. And the more time they put in, the the faster they'll move along, but they're still not going to make thousands of dollars within a few weeks. So that needs to be made clear. Once a person has that commitment and that budget, then they are in a position where they can obtain unlimited targeted traffic. Because the only way to get unlimited targeted traffic is to pay for it. And you won't get it any other way. People will talk about free traffic systems. You'll see things, oh, buy this and I'll get you on page 1 of Google for any keyword. You know, if it was that easy, Google page 1 would have to have 10,000 people on it, and it's got about 10 on it. So what about all the other people that bought this super duper push button system to get them on page 1 with their website for the keyword make money from home? Where are they? There's only room for 10. Now I'm willing to bet that there's been systems out there that people have bought, thousands of people have bought, that wanted to be on page 1 for make money from home. Just pure logic tells you it's not possible. And even if it was, they'd have to spend money on getting the system that is going to get them there. So you need cash. You need a commitment. How much is a minimum? If you're looking at what the minimum is, you're looking at it from the wrong angle. You're thinking, what can I get away with to get me there? You should be looking at it from the angle of how much can I possibly put into this? Where can I drag all my resources from and put in as much as I possibly can to get me off to the best start? You see the difference in mindset. One is this negative mentality of what can I get away with? And it goes back to the famous quote, really, which was a great quote from John F. Kennedy, when he said, you should not be asking, what can your country do for you, but what can you do for your country? And it's the same sort of mentality. Not what can you get away with, but how much can you find to put in? That's what you should be looking, because the more you put in, the better the chance of success in a shorter space of time will be. Okay, now I know I'm hammering that point a little bit, but it is so important, and it's a thing that most people don't understand because they come from this wrong attitude. So there we are. You need to put in whatever you can muster. You don't look at the minimum, you look at what is the maximum I can get there. Because if you're going to buy targeted traffic, probably the best place to start out is with solo ads. And a good solo ad provider is going to charge you about $1 per click. But with a good solo ad provider, you're going to be virtually guaranteed 35% and upwards opt-in. So your leads are going to cost you $3 or less, because a lead is somebody that has actually opted in to your list, somebody that's given you permission to talk to them effectively. So that's what your leads are going to cost. You might find that you can buy solo ads for maybe as little as 30 cents or maybe even 25 cents. And you may find somebody that you get a good result from, but the chances are they won't be able to scale up very much. You might find somebody that you buy 100 clicks from for $25, and you get 25% opt-in, So you get 25 leads for $25, so they're only costing you $1 per lead. And you think, okay, I'll do that again. And you go back to them and they say, oh, well, I've run that ad to my list. You know, they haven't got a big enough list to do much with. And you'll find that if you go to somebody else selling at the same price, a lot of the contacts they have in their list will be the same as the list that you already did. So you're not going to get the results as good. To get scalable quality traffic, you are going to be paying probably $1, and some people will charge you more. I think Shakir Hussain, who runs what do they call it? Solo Ad Agency. I think Solo Ad Agency. I think his clicks are about $1.50 each. I think he's probably one of the most expensive, but you'll get to a large extent what you pay for. But you don't want to be, even if you've got a $5,000 budget, you don't want to be saying, okay, I found this great somebody that's got a good reputation. Here's $5,000. Send me all the traffic you can. Because you need to start small, and you need to test the results, and you need to tweak what you're doing to get the results better, and gradually scale up bit by bit by bit. And that is what all top marketers do, even if they have large budgets. I quite often spend $5,000 on a solo ad, but I don't do it without having first started at maybe a couple of $100, because I like to get about 200 as a minimum clicks. Because if you got less than 200 clicks, you're not going to get a very fair representation of how things are working. And then if that 200 clicks works okay, then I'll try maybe 500 clicks, and I'll check that that's working okay. And if the 500 works okay, then I'll go for 1,000, and so on. You don't go for 50 clicks and say, oh, look, I got 30% opt-in, here's $5,000, because you're going to get burned if that's what you're doing. But if you're getting paid traffic, you need to, there are lots of different avenues for paid traffic, and I'm not going to talk about them all here today. I've concentrated on solo ads because it is the easiest and the most tested and tried and most successful way for most people to get started driving traffic to their website. So that's why I'm talking about solo ads. It's what most of the top marketers still do an awful lot of. And they'll move maybe from that into publisher traffic, and they'll also be doing other types of traffic from different sources. But most of the top marketers will all be doing a large proportion of solo ad traffic, because it's effective, it's targeted. Because what you do is you are basically paying somebody to send your email to their list, and their list is a list that's interested in what you are selling. If you're selling diet pills, you don't want to be sending that to a list full of people with what's that disease where they withering away, they lose weight all the time. I'll can't think of what it's called. Where people just don't eat enough. There's another one, bulimia, but whatever they are called. You don't want to be sending diet pills to a list that's that are people with this type of complaint. They're not going to buy them, are they? They're already skinny devils. You know, you want a list full of fat people who want to be thin. Okay. Now, there are a lot of fat people out there. Some of them don't particularly, not bothered about whether they want to be thin. So that's another thing. It's no good sending them just to fat people. You want to send them to fat people that want to be thin. Okay, and that then is targeted traffic. And you can do that with solo ads because you find a list that somebody has built that is for fat people wanting to be thin. And then you send them your ad, your email, and you craft an email with a nice subject line to get them to open your email. And it says, this is for all fat people who want to be thin. This is a new wonder pill that takes all the effort out of weight loss, and you'll lose 10 pounds in the first 24 hours, or whatever it is that this product is selling. Okay, and you obviously that is just off the top of my head and nonsense, because that's not going to work. You don't want to be telling lies, but you want something that tells them about what it is you're selling and why it can help them. And so those people have received that email, they know what it's about, they are super targeted, and when they go to your site, they're actually interested in it, and they're prepared to opt in, and then go from there to have a look at this product and possibly purchase it. And that's what solo ads can do for you. And that is why it's super targeted. And that is why most people that are making a lot of money use it. Okay, so having gone there, let me just check and see if we've got any questions or anything coming up so far, if I can remember. Okay, I've got a questions and answers thing in the, let me see what happens if I write in there. No, it doesn't seem to work. Still haven't found out how to work this questions and answers thing yet, but we will get there. I am not very technologically proficient, as anybody that's attended these things on a regular basis knows, and that should inspire you, because if I can make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year marketing online, and I don't really know much more than how to turn a computer on, it means that you can also do that. So if you've got something that you are selling and you want to make money, you probably need traffic. It's one of the most common questions that I'm asked. How do I get traffic to my page? It's phrased in lots of different ways. People ask it me in lots of different ways, but they all boil down to that same question. Now, if you don't know who I am, I've been making money online since 1998, and I've seen many so-called gurus come and go, and I've seen many different systems and opportunities and everything else come and go, and I've seen big changes in that time frame, as you can well imagine. 17 years is a long time for most people. The older you get, the less important 17 years seems to be. But 17 years is quite a long time for most people, certainly that are marketing online. And online, 17 years is an even greater time than it is offline, because things move so fast. And each year, each day, technology moves so much faster. There's so many more advances that are being made on a daily basis that we're just going helter-skelter speed now. So I've been around, I've seen a lot of things, but I've also watched one person in particular come from nowhere about 7 years ago to become probably the top authority on traffic. So much so that he's now one of my mentors. This is somebody, as I say, I've known and seen and watched his progress for many years, and what he's achieved is absolutely incredible, and he's done it largely from becoming the expert in driving traffic, not just through solo ads. I mean, he's very good at solo ads, and he teaches all about solo ads, but he teaches so many other things as well now. He's made getting traffic his priority. So listen, I'm not sure if you've heard all the buzz about Total Domination Engineering. It's a free training series, and it's a brand new advanced training that this guy is releasing. And what he's going to do is he's pretty much going to take you behind the curtain, behind the scenes, and show you the exact steps that he takes to totally dominate in any marketplace for any promotion or any company. And let me tell you, when this guy dominates, he dominates. And it's worked for him every time so far. And he's made millions of dollars. He makes millions of dollars a year in income. Okay, I think his income is currently around about $4 to $5 million a year. And he's done this through becoming an expert in traffic. And he uses a 7-step system, and he's going to be teaching that. And it's all good stuff. So what I wanted to let you know on the traffic front was that this free course is coming up, and he'll be streaming the training, and I think he's starting tomorrow, and you'll be able to get complimentary access to it if you would like to. I highly recommend it, but it's up to you. You don't need to do anything at this time. Well, I say you don't need to do anything. Actually, what you need to do is opt in to my lead capture page, and I'll put another link up there for this so that you can do that. And I will then, as soon as I get the word from him, I will send you the link to his training, and you'll be able to attend. And that, roughly speaking, is what I wanted to cover today. But I wanted to throw it open to anybody that's on the webinar to answer any questions that I can about anything that you have to do marketing wise. Any questions about that, or if you want any questions about any of the programs that I run that you may be involved in. And let me get rid of that, and I should be back again for you now. So there we go. I'm open, I'm here. I can answer any questions that you may have. As I say, I think I'm looking at, we've only got a small number of attendees here today, and they're all in one program I run, which is really like an internet marketer's supermarket. Okay, it's where you can get everything you need under one roof at knockdown prices. So if you want an autoresponder, boom, you can get it, and it's going to cost you less than anywhere else. If you want hosting for your website, you can get it, and it's going to cost you less than anywhere else. If you want to be able to track where your traffic's coming from and track your campaigns to see how much they're making so that you know what you're doing, you can get it, and it's going to cost you less than anywhere else. No matter what it is you're looking for your internet marketing business, you will probably find it in what I class as our supermarket, and it will be at a price that is less than you can get it for anywhere else. And as I say, the people that I see are all members of that, and if they want to ask any questions about that. Terence says, have I got it right? The $1 lead program is free, but we need to pay. Hey, how can it be free and you need to pay? I'm not sure. The one for the WP Profit Builder. WP Profit Builder, Terence, is a plugin and theme which I strongly recommend for your for your website. It makes creation of pages easier, and it's a great program. And inside our area in this internet supermarket that I'm talking about, we do have available templates that you can actually load. The Profit Builder system itself comes with a lot of templates, but we add to those with our own templates that you can load. And I don't think they would be any good to you without the Profit Builder. I don't think they would load just into a WordPress site. I don't know. I'm not a technical expert. I just know that if you click upload one of our templates and you've got the WordPress Profit Builder running, then it'll work. Okay, so we have that. Oh no, I know what the $1 lead program is that you're talking about, Terence. Sorry. Yeah. No, this is another program that I recommend. I don't run this. It's a program that's run by a third party, and you can join that program, and if you are driving traffic, you can drive it to a page that they will provide for you, a lead capture page, and from that page they will opt into a list. Excuse me, I'll just mute this for a minute. They will opt into a list that you specify, where you can sell them any or communicate with them in any way you like, because they'll be on your autoresponder list. Now, what they'll also be done is they'll be opted into a second list, which is controlled by this third-party program, where they will attempt to make sales for you of higher ticket items to those people, and if they make the sales on your behalf, then they pay you the commission. So if they buy something for $1,000, I'm not sure of the exact figures, but if they buy $1,000 package, you'll get $300 or $400 in commissions without having done anything. Okay, so because of that, they will say to you, okay, to encourage you to use this system, not only to get these high ticket commissions, but also to build your list and build the list that we can sell to for you, we'll pay you upfront $1 for every lead that you put into the system. So they're going into your list and they're going into this third party list as well, and they'll pay you $1 for it, provided it's a valid lead. Now, a valid lead in this instance is I think it's restricted to tier 1 traffic, which is North America, Australasia, that's Australia, New Zealand, United States, Canada, not Mexico. I suppose Mexico's North America, but not Mexico. So let's go through the country. The five basically. There's the United Kingdom, United States, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. And if the leads are valid leads that come from those areas, then they'll pay you $1 for it. What this means is if you are promoting something, you do it with a solo ad, and you get the solo ads for, let's suppose you get them for 50 cents. You get a good deal on solo ads. You get them for 50 cents for 100 clicks, and you get 50% opt-in. What it means is those leads have cost you $1, okay, because you've got 50 leads for $50. And if those leads are going into both systems using this system, then you're going to get paid $1 for each lead. And that means that the leads that you've got in your autoresponder would have cost you normally $1 each, you're going to have in there free. It's going to help you cover the cost of your advertising. And it's a great little program. but it costs you, it's a one-off payment of $97, I think. It's $97, and I think that's the program you're talking about, Terence. So it's not free. You need to pay $97 for it. And if you introduce people to that program, once you're a member of it, you get $50 commission on it. So if you introduce 2 people to it, it's cost you nothing. Okay. So it's a very sound program, good program, and I think that's the one that you're talking about. If we've got any other questions, anything I can cover, there is also a deal I offer. I thought I saw somewhere that if we were at a certain level, we did not have to pay the entry. New people coming into the double diamond level. Okay, new people that coming into the double diamond level, which is around $2,000. I am paying them into, even if they come in your downline. But existing members, especially members that came in because we had a pre-launch and we've had lots of deals going on, for under the top, under that fee, existing members got other deals, so it doesn't apply to them. It only applies to new members that are coming in at that top level, and it's one of the bonuses that they get. There are several bonuses they get for coming in at that level. It doesn't apply to existing members. It applies to new members that come in and get the bonuses that are advertised, and that's one of 3 or 4 bonuses. I can't remember how many are up there now. Okay, Terence, I'm glad that's explained. I got a little bit confused because I have another program which I sell normally for $47 that I offer for $1 for people that opt in, and that's a very good little traffic system. It's low cost, targeted traffic, and I'll put that up next week for you at $1. Anybody that's on the webinar, that they'll be able to get it for just $1. And as I say, it's something I normally sell for $47. It's I think it's a 4-part video thing. It's pretty simple to do, and it can bring you massive traffic, very high quality targeted traffic. So I'll make that available on next week's webinar as a special deal for just $1 for anybody that's on the webinar. Okay. Any other questions about anything? I don't seem to have had any problems with the webinar today, which is unusual for me. The only problem I've got is I still don't know how the questions and answers thing works properly. I know that there is a way that you can send a message, and I think you can click on a box and mark it as a question or something like that. Oh yeah, mark as a question. If you send a message and you in the chat section, there's a little box just above the area where you type in, and you can say mark it as a question, and then if you send that, it gets shown up as a question. Now I wonder if that shows up then in my control center. That'll be interesting to find out, won't it? Okay, so Trish has just done that for me. Thanks, Trish. And yeah, okay, that comes up in the questions and answers section in my control. So that solved the problem, or not a problem, but it solved something that's been puzzling me for a while, how to get these questions and answers. If you do actually mark it as a question, it comes up in my control panel as a question, and will get answered perhaps more promptly. Especially, it's not so bad when we've only got a few people on the webinar, as seems to be the case today. But if we have a webinar that gets packed, which sometimes they do, then it would be advantageous to you. Terence says, is it easy to install WP Profit Builder into WordPress? Terence, it is as easy as it gets. You just upload it. It's a plugin, and it's a theme. You just upload the theme and the plugin, and they work. I can't remember what the cost is. They have different plans. They have plans for developers where they can put them on other people's sites, and that's the license that I've got, which is obviously the most expensive. But they also have a license where you can have it for just a single site, and I think that's probably $30 or something like that. And then they have a license maybe for 10 sites, which may be $40 or $50 or something. Then they have a license for unlimited number of sites. So that's it. It is very easy to understand. But Terence, I think we built a site for you, and I think you've got WP Profit Builder installed in it. If we built the site for you, it'll be on that site. If you wanted to install it on a different site, then yeah, you'd have to go out and buy it. And as I say, I'm not sure what the current prices are. $49, Terence says. I don't know. Is that the lowest price that they offer? Oh, we've got 49 and 69. I'll say, I'm not sure what the prices are now. They did have when I bought it, it was in the launch period. I got in the first 3 days or something when the prices were really, really low. And I can't remember what I paid, but I got the full package where you can put this out on unlimited sites, because I knew I wanted to build sites for certain members that were at a certain level. And so we have a webmaster that does that for us. So you come in, you get a site built, he builds the site for you, and he installs WP Profit Builder on your site. So you've if you're looking at one of the sites we built for you, it's already installed. You said you don't have a site and never saw it. I think you probably do have a site, and you should have been informed about it. But I'll check on that, Terence. I'll check on that and see. But I'm pretty sure that we did build a site for you. I don't have the info. I don't want to mess too much with trying to pull things up on my computer now, because I get into all sorts of problems with it messing up the webinar. So what I do have for you is if you want to opt in for that training, I'm going to close. When I close, I'm going to just click on this redirect thing, and it should take you to the link where you can opt in, and you'll get the training from on this traffic. As I say, I think it runs for 7 days. I'm not sure whether they are consecutive days or not. So it's quite a comprehensive course. What I'll do is I'll put the link in just in case things go wrong. I'll put it in here to display as a sticky message. And you should be able to just click on that and opt in if you want information about that. I think Lena is also mentored by this guy. So if you're in Lena's downline, get a link off her. Who else have we got? Terence, Trish, Lena. Okay. So if we've no more questions, I'm going to call it a day here. And when I come off here, before I get stuck into doing the other things that I'm doing, which is working with the programmers on the new members areas and things, I hope you like that. I think it's a lot clearer. It's going to be a lot easier to understand. It's not the done deal yet, but it's going to be massive. There's lots more ideas and lots of things coming along there, which will enhance the members' experience in sawwp.com. So before I get back in contact with the developers and things, I will look for your website, Terence, and I will email it to you, the information that I've got, and you may be able to get access. I'm not sure whether I've got the access details. I may need to get hold of Jared, who's the webmaster, because he'll have the access details if I've not got them, and he may have to send them to you. Okay, so no more questions. That's it. I'm done. Thank you very, very much for attending. I hope it's been useful to you, and I hope it's useful to anybody that views the replay. I know we had a lot more people registered than actually attended. That's usual. Sometimes things happen where times just don't work out for people. If that's the case, then I hope you enjoy the replay, and I hope you get something useful out of it. And as I say, next week, there'll be a couple of things. One, I'll be teaching people how to get started at no cost. Zero, zilch, nada, okay? And also, I will have available the download of that course, which you will be able to buy for $1. I'm not giving it away. You can have it for $1 if you want it. It normally sells at $47. So I'll put that in next week as well. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks for attending. God bless you all. And if you are in our mentoring series as well, I'll see you on Monday. God bless.